So, we are reviewing the new Elantra today, and well, why are we here in the office? Well, because technically I can begin from right here. Thanks to the Elantra getting the new Blue Link app, well, I can remote start and pre-cool the car, which on a hot day like today, I think I definitely want to do that. Set temperature, okay, enter your PIN, and we are all done. Yep, let's go. And while I'm heading there, why don't you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever we release a new video. Okay, so you probably noticed that the new Elantra has had quite a significant facelift up at the front and at the rear too. And I'll get back to that in a moment, but I want to check out the engine because the petrol now is BS6 compliant. So of course the power and the torque have stayed the same. Interestingly though, the mileage has remained the same too. Typically on BS6 cars we've seen the mileage has dropped, but Hyundai have managed to keep the figures the same. Has that had an impact on performance then? Well, that's what we want to find out. But like I said earlier, I'd show you around the car. So here at the front, the Elantra now gets the brand's sharper cut hexagonal grille, this time punctured at the top by the sharply cut headlamps that now have 4 full LED projector lamp units. The fog lights too are now sharper triangular units, while the bonnet has been reskinned with a slight power bulge in the center. At the sides, the new bit is the newly designed alloys, although still 16 inches in size, while the rear, like the front, gets a noticeable update. The redesigned LED tail lamps have been extended further into the boot lid, pushing the number plate onto the bumper below, the lower edge of which gets some massive black treatment and some fins mimicking an extended diffuser, lending it a sporty look. As for the insides, the steering is a new sleeker looking unit, the HVAC console is new, and there are also updates to some materials and colors like the carbon fiber finish above the IP. Besides the Blue Link connectivity, the Elantra also gets some new bits like a premium 8-speaker Infinity music system, wireless mobile phone charging, front parking sensors, and a tire pressure monitoring system. 6 airbags are also now standard across the range. Curiously though, the auto hold function has been deleted. The rest remains the same. It's very well equipped with bits like cooled seats, a hands-free trunk opening, and an interior air ionizer. So I've been driving the car for a while now, and well, I can tell you this, the engine, well, it does feel a bit different. Where the earlier one was a lot more snappier when you put your foot down on the accelerator like this. This one, well, it's quick, but it's a lot more linear, and so yeah, well, it has dulled the performance just a bit. But I say just a bit because, well, in our timing from 0 to 100, this one clocked just half a second slower than the Bharat Stage 4 cars. So really not that much of a drop in outright acceleration. So while the snappy jackrabbit acceleration is gone, the engine is also more refined than before. And along with the fact that there is no drop in mileage, I'd say the upgrade to BS6 isn't all that bad. Now, one thing the Elantra had was the drive modes, and well, that stays as well on this car too. Of course, here you get normal, eco, sport and smart, which does adjust for your driving style. Now in eco mode, even then it doesn't feel too underpowered. Quite honestly, it's quite usable in everyday scenarios, and even carrying out a few basic overtaking maneuvers is quite possible. Sport is where it gets a lot faster, of course, but I felt that the smart mode defaulted far more towards normal, and only aggressive prods of the accelerator would keep things sporty. Okay, well, for the rest of the car, things are pretty much the same as they would be, being mechanically identical. The steering, well, it's a bit numb, doesn't have that much of feedback, but the suspension on rough roads like this, well, that's something quite nice and you will enjoy, because it does manage to isolate you from well, potholes and bumps and things like that. It's a bit more European in its setup. Of course, they haven't been able to eliminate body roll though. That's still present. But on the whole, the suspension is definitely a plus point on this car. So the update has been quite significant. The facelift adds some freshness, and the BS6 engine, while blunted now, is more drivable and refined, and without a drop in efficiency. And then there's the amount of features on offer. Some segment unique too, making it all good value. Although prices have risen with the facelift, the Elantra is still the most affordable of the lot, priced from 15.89 lakh to 20.39 lakh ex-showroom India. Of course, if you're looking at a diesel car, the Elantra is no longer an option for you, since that's been discontinued with this update. But if you're okay with petrol power, the Elantra, being quite the all-rounder, should be high on your consideration. And how does it stack up against its rivals? Well, you'll soon know, as we've already lined that up for a shootout. So stay tuned.